Hello, lovely people. Welcome to another Backstage with Fred. This is the first one of 2026. And I don't think I can say that because now it's kind of like half of January, and once it's going to be published, maybe end of January. Anyway, I'm going to say Happy New Year. And basically, everything you wish for, I hope you're going to have it in 2026. So I'm in the beautiful Miami, actually it's Miami Beach, next to Miami. I just learned that. I thought they were the same place, but they're not. And as you know, I'm from Canada, so mostly anywhere I go during winter time, the weather is nicer. Except at the ballroom at the hotel where we are,
so cold.
AC is so high, like it's cold, and I'm Canadian, so it's really cold. But it's not the usual conference though. I usually go to developers conference, and now we are at the TinyMCE Offsite. You know, the company is mostly remote, so some of us took the time to, meet in person. I think it's really important to connect like people face to face. And speaking of faces, you've probably seen those two faces in some webinars and stuff online on social media. We need to define something today before we even go in the Backstage with Fred. So I like to call Bee as, my either work wife or work husband, because we spend so much time together. Like, which one do you prefer? Do you have a preference?
It depends on the day, perhaps. Work spouse, work spouse, work moose. I don't know. Figure it out.
And now it's public. There's going to be a video. So like I should have asked you, like, do you want this relation to be public? I mean, like, you have no choice. That's going to go on YouTube.
I mean, we're paired together a lot, whether we want to or not. So might as well
I was going to say for better or worse. Sounds like marriage to me. So
I think so.
For better or worse. Joke aside, I consider myself very lucky because I work really closely with Bee here. But for the people that do not know you,
yes,
who are you?
I am Bee Lawless. I'm the product marketing manager for TinyMCE. So we work together a lot on content, especially for the developer community as you're going out meeting everybody, just making sure people have the information they need.
Yeah, and I don't know. I don't want to pat us on the back, but I think we're doing a pretty good job.
We do a great job.
Yeah,
you're amazing.
Oh, I was going to say the same thing to you. You see now it's working. And, I just wanted to take the opportunity because, we worked a lot together. As I said, like, if you know TinyMCE, you've seen some of the stuff we did together. We do webinars together. You see our faces on social media, so that we know each other. And usually when I do Backstage with Fred, it's with people that I met at a conference. Most of the time, people that I didn't even know existed before the conference. It's just nice people that I met. But now I wanted to take the opportunity, because I'm with Bee at that event, internal events, to do a Backstage with Fred. This time with someone related to TinyMCE. I know those Backstage with Fred, they're not about product pitches. They're just about me talking to interesting people at the event. Now I have a mix of those. I have an interesting person with me, a nice human that can also talk about TinyMCE. So just taking that opportunity here. But before that, my first question. What's a PMM? I mean, I know it, but like for the people, because I work with you, but like for the people that may not know, what is a PMM? What's your role exactly?
I mean, that's a great question. It varies depending on the day, but also I think marketing for technical folks can be a bit of a black box, right? Do you work on the website? Do you do this? Do you do that? PMM, product marketing manager, is someone in marketing that focuses specifically on the product, right? So we do a lot of research to understand who the ideal person is for our product that we want to market to, and then we learn everything about the product. So we are hopefully providing helpful, educational, instructive information. We're still trying to sell stuff to you, don't get me wrong. But the idea is that it is all about the features and functionality and how that helps you solve problems.
I love that. And for my role with developer relation, that gave me a great access also to visibility about the product, being sure that like in my day-to-day, even if I don't always talk about Tiny, I talk about other stuff that relate to my audience developer, it's still interesting. Like it's still not even interesting, it's like basically I need that to be able to be successful. So being able to work with someone like you really makes my life easier. I cannot say if it's the same for B, if I make his life easier.
You know what? You make my life interesting.
That's the polite way to say that.
Oh no. You're actually great. I love your zeal for creating content and making it approachable to people. And I don't want to make it too much of a love fest, but we work well together.
I was going to say that video is turning about like just herself tapping in the back, like, oh, you know I like you. You know I like you.
Pat you on the back. But similarly, where you're super technical and you found your way to content, a lot of times when you find people in product marketing, it's a similar mix, maybe just the other way around. So I barely claim it because it was so long ago, but I have worked as a developer. I have a technical background. I've done some system engineering way back in the day, but the last, for a long time, I've been doing technical communication and technical marketing, and now I'm here doing product marketing. So it's all similar mindsets, just different approaches to things.
Yeah. No, wonderful. So speaking about our focus, which is TinyMCE.
TinyMCE.
What is TinyMCE? Why should I care? What should I use it? Maybe from a developer point of view.
Yeah. So TinyMCE is a rich text editor. So if we're starting from the basics, right? You have a text box. If you want that to have some nice clickable formatting, functionality, maybe around collaboration, AI features, if we're going all the way to some of the newest stuff, you can buy us, insert that into your application, and then you worry about all the really cool stuff you're building in the application and not so much about the text editing part, which is a lot harder than most people will realize. True. Also, Tiny's biggest differentiation in the market is just that we're easy. We're simple to set up, we're simple to configure, and simple to add functionality to as your business grows.
Yeah, and you mentioned two things that are super interesting to me, or to my audience. This is also what I try to talk to people. The first one is that it's way more complicated than it looks like. I mean, if you just want to have a button that put things in bold and italic, okay, you do it. But if you want to be sure that you have way more features, if you want to have collaboration tools, if you want to be sure that the content created is accessible, if you want to have integration with AI, if you want to be sure that it's secure, if you want to be sure it's working well, I mean, there's a lot of work to do. I have a lot of respect for the engineering team because that's huge.
And yes, so much work that people don't think about, and I'm certainly not going to downplay it. I love written word. I'm a writer, editor, but I think a lot of people just go wow, that could be really boring. Not our team. Our team loves it, right? Yep. But cursor position and this, and wait, which user made that comment, and now I have to compare it to that. There's a lot to manage there.
Yeah, and what I always say, it did not start like that. When I started in tech, I was like, I'm a developer. I can build everything I want, which is true. As a developer, I can build any application I want, but do I want to? That's one thing. And do I have the time to, when I work for a business? No. And is it my expertise? As I said, I'm not saying oh, I know everything, so it's why I can build everything. It's just, it's possible if I take the time to learn how to build it, and if I take the time to build it. But again, is it where I bring the most value, building something that I don't have the expertise and don't know how at that point? Yeah. So no, you said it. That was the second point that I really love, is that, you use that. So you can concentrate on everything else in your application where this is where your expertise can be used, or this is where you bring even more value to the business. Not that TinyMCE didn't bring it. Maybe not expressing myself correctly, but more about it oh, there's a piece that I can just embed in my code, and it's doing all the magic I need to create that content.
Yeah, and I mean, unless you are a software engineering artiste, nobody codes everything from scratch, right? There's a reusable component in everything someone codes. That's what Tiny is. We are a JavaScript component that you just drop in and go about your day, make your life easier.
Exactly. So, last question for you. Okay, a rich text editor or WYSIWYG or something that helps me to create or help my users within my application to create that rich content. What are the use cases that someone would use TinyMCE?
well, the simple one that I love is anywhere you want text. But realistically, right? So web forms, sort of a nice generic thing, but email and messaging application, learning management systems where you're building courses and you want either your instructors or your students to have powerful formatting capabilities, document management systems, content management, website platforms where you want people to create the content and then you serve it up with the formatting and styling you want. I mean, it is really simple to say everywhere, but it kind of is.
It is.
Anywhere you need text in a web app specifically.
That was a tricky question, actually. Yeah, like the answer is like everywhere, but there's use cases that we see a lot more because this is where like the end user is going to have to create more like enriched content than like just having like a simple text area that has no formatting and just like typing.
Also, just internal applications. A lot of our customers, they're doing a workflow, some sort of a specialized workflow, right? Someone needs to create this content, it's going to move on to someone else. You build the workflow pieces, but all the editing happens right there. Well, and we handle some of that too with the review module collaboration.
Yep. Yeah. So thanks for being on the show.
Thanks
I will
for
leave people with one request that I think will resonate for both of us, will make sense for both of us, especially because that episode was about TinyMCE because of my guest. If you're using TinyMCE, if you use TinyMCE, if you think about trying TinyMCE, let us know how it goes. And be really honest, be transparent. I want to know the good, the bad, and the ugly, because that's the only way with that feedback that we can have a discussion, we can go back to the product team, to the engineering team and say like, hey, we have issues there, we have bugs there. And also, you know what? They do an amazing job, and I feel bad about that most of the time. Part of the feedback that I bring to the engineering team is like, oh, I talked to someone that had like that small issue. But like, I also want to get back to them and say like, hey, you know what? I talked to those people, they use it internally. They are mind blown, they love it, and I want that feedback too. But also want the rest, because this is how we improve the product, this is how we get better. And so either if you met Bee at events online, myself at events online, just let us know. We are really social people. We're going to be more than happy
Just a little bit.
Yeah, just a little bit. We're going to be more than happy to talk to you.
Awesome. Thanks for having me. This has been great.
Pleasure was mine.
Thanks for admitting that we hang out outside of work a little bit.
I know. I mean, yeah. I may cut that part.
That's fine.
I may do that part. No. Joke aside, thanks again for people for watching, and see you at the next event or Backstage with Fred.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye, everyone.